I like the opportunity to speak to you tonight because in my business I do a lot of outreach and seek out veterans that are in need of assistance from others, and I can tell them and show them who to go to seek mental health care. We have a vet center in Des Moines, West Des Moines, that will take on any veteran and their families that are having difficulties with the individual suffering possibly from post-traumatic stress disorder. We have all these soldiers coming back from Iraq, Afghanistan, the Gulf War. We even go back to Vietnam and World War II and Korea. Veterans suffering from issues. They were in situations that were terrible, and it became a stigma when they came back. They didn't want to talk about this, and we still have people continually suffering and are concerned about their families and afraid to talk about what had taken place while they were in war or situations in battle. Not only do people suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder due to combat and life-threatening situations such as airplane crashes that survive, car wrecks that survive, these people are suffering from post-traumatic stress many times. But not only that, the recent issues come up with what we call MST, military sexual trauma, is a type of PTSD, and now we're coming out of the woodwork, people that are coming out of the closet, so to say, talking about these events, women that have been raped in the military, and ironically, there are men that have been raped, and it's probably 50-50 when you get down to talk about it and start talking to people about this. They need sources and places to go to be able to talk about this. They need to be able to express their feelings and what's bothering them, and it's the most difficult for them to talk about this particular issue. So we have to sit and listen and be able to encourage them to seek out help, because many times we have people that are suffering from these kinds of things. They want to commit suicide, they don't feel worthy, and so we got to find sources for them to go to, and they just don't know who they might go to. I deal with a lot of elderly veterans that are suffering from post-traumatic stress. They call it combat fatigue. They call it shell shock back in World War II in Korea. I recently was visiting with a gentleman from Fort Dodge, Iowa, who was suffering from some illness that happened in a farm accident, and while I was talking with him, he was seeking medical health care from the VA hospital, and he was in a wheelchair, and the VA hospital does not accept everybody into their facility. If you have a certain amount of assets, if you have too many assets, you cannot get into that facility unless you have a disability that's related to the service. So as I was talking to him, he shared with me his discharge, military discharge paper, and on there it had Silver Star. And the Silver Star is probably one of the highest awards of valor that you can receive. I asked him, and I could not seek any way I could get him medical care at the VA hospital, so I started challenging him and asking him, what made you deserve this Silver Star? Why did you get this? And the guy started crying, and he's holding within himself this, I call it PTSD, all these years. And I told him that, and I felt kind of like I was being mean to the guy because I was trying to pull this out of him, and I wanted him to get upset. And so we filed a claim for post-traumatic stress through the VA. And once the VA sees this claim, it goes in. I had him go to his doctor to give him a diagnosis of that. And the doctor shared with us that he had a post-traumatic stress disorder all the way back into World War II. And the VA granted him benefits for that, monetary benefits. And that was the key to opening the door to get care at the VA hospital. Once he got that benefit through, he has mental health care, he has all kinds of physical health care. So we have many, many people out there that are suffering from all these maladies, and this is an opportunity for you people to go out and share with your friends what you've heard today, that there are people that you can go to seek and get help for mental health and other issues that are related to the wars, and not necessarily just a war. There are people out there. When I was in the Navy, I worked at the Mental Health Institution of Bethesda, Maryland, and I see we've gone 1,000 miles in mental health. It's amazing when I think about all the things out here. I talked to several people today out here and the way things have changed. And I thank you for your time, and it's been enjoyable.